Hey everyone, welcome to our fifth practice. You are joining me, Nancy, and this is Owen, and that is River the Wonder Dog. And today we're talking about shoulders. And Owen was going to help me, but maybe not. All right, I'll let you go. Shoulders. We all have them, and sometimes they can just ache, especially from something that I call modern posture. So, what is modern posture? Modern posture is this. I'm going to turn sideways. Texting, shoulders forward, neck forward with the weight of our noggin, sort of supported by our skinny little necks. Or when we bring our shoulders and arms forward and the pectoral muscles get tight because we're computing for long periods during the day. So that also brings us into this curved modern posture. So the shoulder joint is really wonderful. It helps our arm move. I'm going to turn sideways into extension or flexion or horizontal abduction or adduction, normal abduction or adduction, and internal rotation, external rotation, and circles or circumduction, both directions. The joint is made up of this main bone, the humerus, along with other bones in the shoulder girdle. But what I want you to know is that the shoulder blade is actually a part of our shoulder joint. So I'm just going to show you what happens when I move my arm in a variety of ways. You can see that my shoulder blade is also moving, and we want it to move because joints are all about movement, right? And we want mobility, we want movement. So, two things we're going to work on today concerning those wonderful shoulder joints is relaxation, but also strengthening. And we want both in the shoulder joints. So while we're sitting here, let's explore just for a moment internal and external rotation. So take your hands out to the side, arms extended, just somewhere in this range. Now, internally rotate it. Notice how it feels in your shoulders. Externally rotate. Internally rotate. Externally rotate. Now you notice I just dropped mine down because I was feeling a little bit of a hitch in my shoulder. And I was like, what is that? So I just dropped it lower. Now I'm just seeing how it feels in a variety of positions. All right. And I'm not cranking. I'm just seeing what my mobility is. That's all. All right. Bring your arms forward now. And I want you to reach towards the camera. And can you sense in your mind's eye that your shoulder blades are separating? Now, as you bring them back, can you kind of give those shoulder blades a squeeze together? Release to neutral. Reach. Now, I want to bend over a little bit on purpose this time. I'm going to stack my spine up, and I'm going to pull my shoulder blades together. I'm going to turn sideways and do that just one more time. I reach forward. Shoulder blades separate. I draw them together. I'm squeezing the shoulder blades together, and that's strengthening my upper back. All right, now we're going to go on the floor. We're going to do cat-cow. We're going to do some prone position work. So we're facing down, and we're going to do some arm lifts, leg lifts, strengthen the whole upper back. And then we're going to do a little bit of planking to dolphin and back again. And that might be about it, but you're going to feel a difference. So let's hit the mat with cat-cow. All right, speaking of cat-cow, here we go. All right. So I like to say knees a little further apart than your hips. Same thing with your hands and your arms, a little wider than shoulder width apart. So start with that kind of, remember we just did it, that reaching towards the camera. That's actually the sensation right here. Reach, but it turns into kind of a push away. And now I allow my shoulder blades to draw together. Again, exhale. I separate the shoulder blades as I arch up, or they do separate. And then when I relax into cow, they slide together. In this position, I'm not pulling my shoulder blades together, I'm allowing them. Do a couple more, just noticing what your shoulders and shoulder blades are doing. Alrighty, come to neutral. We're going to give our shoulders just a gentle stretch. Don't overdo this. Do it so it feels good. This is called puppy pose. I walk my hands out in front of me. Only go as far as is good for your shoulders. And exhale, pull in your belly. Start walking your hands in underneath you. So now we're going to go onto the floor. Move my mic. Maybe. Okay, so we are going to do some lifts of the back. So I'm just putting my hands right by my shoulders. I'm sort of balancing on my nose, but not too much pressure. So all I'm going to do is I lift my hands, I float them off the floor an inch, and I'm going to lift my neck, my head, and my upper back off the floor. I'm trying not to use my glutes or my legs right now, just the back, and lower down. Let your shoulders relax. All right, barely lift them away from the floor so they're in neutral. Float your hands and let your head, neck, and shoulders lift off the floor again. Can you feel that in somewhere in your upper back? I feel it right about here, right between my shoulder blades. Lower down. We're going to change this. We're going to move hands. I've got a cat in my way, but I'm going to move my hands out to the side. Going to do that same thing. Shoulders are in neutral. I lift my head, my neck. I pet the kitty cat. Ow! And he attacks my arm. It's all right, Owen. It's all right. I'm just going to bend that arm. All right, can you feel a little more weight in your upper back now? A little more challenging here. Bend your arms so they're in cactus. Bring your fingertips together over your head or in front of your head, sort of. Now bring your elbows down. Woo! Bring them forward. It's like you're sliding in what's called the coronal plane. So I'm going back and forth, letting my shoulder joint have freedom of movement while it's exercising, while it's getting stronger. Hi, Owen. All right, enough of that. Oh my goodness. Hands to the mat. Lower down. Let your head relax to one side. We're going to do one more. This time we're going to engage the whole body. So this time, let's bring arms by our sides. Same thing. Let your shoulders come a little way away so they're in neutral, not collapsed. I'm going to lift my head, neck, upper back. I'm going to lift one leg, and I do it one at a time because I want to see what it feels like in my back. Feels fine. Other leg fine. Both hands off the ground. Here I'm using glutes, legs. I'm going to lift my head a smidgen. Holding this only as long as it feels good. I just don't want anyone's back to be at all in any pain. We hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly coming out of it. Nice control, nice control, nice control. Hands by your chest. Exhale. You're going to push up with your arms and come back. Puppy pose one more time. Oh, that feels good. All right, so that was both strength building for your upper back as well as mobility. So this was the movement I was doing, everyone. I was just doing this when I was lifting my head, neck, and upper back off the floor. So I was letting my joint have full range of movement, but it had weight and load, so that was the strengthening part. Another strengthening part, we're going to move from plank on our forearms back to dolphin. This is a strengthener, let me tell you. So you can also, all right, I'm going to finish that sentence in a minute. So forearms on the floor, I tuck my toes under, and I lift my hips up into the air, and I am in dolphin pose. So let's just hang out in dolphin a moment. I'm going to walk my dolphin. So I'm just bending and moving one knee at a time. This is quite a stretch for the calf muscles or gastrocnemius muscles too. All right, I'm going to walk my toes in just a smidgen. Now here we're going to find that push away. So instead of collapsing in the shoulders, it's that same move of reaching towards the TV. But in this position, it's a push away. I'm pushing the floor away. And I can just feel how hard my upper back is working. Woo. Now we're going to go to plank. Adjust your feet as needed. We come down to plank. We're not collapsing in our shoulder girdle. We're lifting out of it. Holding it for 5. Hi, Owen. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. Back to dolphin. Hi, Owen. Find that push away. If your calves or hamstrings are screaming at you, bend your knees a little bit. Okay? Holding here in push away for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That was one set. Back down to plank. This is the second half of second set. Holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time. Back up to dolphin. Find your push away. Holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Dolphin. 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the knees gently. And you got it. Puppy pose. Oh. All right. So, again, a review of that movement we did at the start of our practice. I had you reach towards the ceiling and then draw your shoulder blades together. So that it is a reaching when we're sitting, when we're when we're in cat-cow or dolphin or plank. The movement is the same, but gravity and our position and our weight load is different. So it's a push away, but shoulders separate or shoulder blades come together. It's the same mechanics, but with different musculature working. Okay? So last thing, everybody, it's the same movement, but I call it scapula releases, and we do it on our backs. Ah, that feels good. So feet are separated, knees can drop together in a relaxed, constructive pose, this is called. Hi, River. And just reach gently towards the ceiling and then release your arms back down. And notice what's going on with your shoulder blades. And then as you release, the shoulder blades come back into contact with the floor. So there's going to be different proprioception in this position because the floor is up against our back and our shoulder blades, and it's going to help us perceive in a different way. Last one, reach. Now alternate it. Reach right hand, left hand, right arm and scapula, left arm and scapula. Reach and reach and reach. Both at the same time. Reach, 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 reach. And let them float down. Let them relax. Palms up towards the ceiling. See if you can bring your breath down into your belly. We just have one more thing we're going to do, and that is flexion and extension. So arms are going to be facing, hands facing each other like you're holding a beach ball, and you're just going to lift the ball. You aren't doing push away, you aren't doing reaching. You're just feeling your shoulders as they move in this slow, mindful pathway. Some of us might want our arms a little wider. If we feel like we have a hitch or a click in one of our shoulders, we might want to try a little wider stance. Last one. So the whole goal here, everyone, is relaxation and awareness. We're not trying to touch the floor in back of us necessarily. And bring the arms out to your sides a little bit more. And just sense what you sense in your shoulders. Is something awakened? What does it feel like right now? And then just tune into your breath for a moment. Maybe your breath can be in the belly right now as a method to tone the vagus nerve or turn on that relaxation response in our whole body. How is your mind now after doing that brief practice? And tune into that part, lastly, that is what you feel like your spirit or your soul or your essence, or maybe you call it your consciousness. All those parts together, body, mind, and spirit, make up who you are, that beautiful person that you are. All right, sweet people, you can stay right where you at, right where you at, or you can come up with me, and I'm gonna say hi to the kitty, and I'm gonna come close to the camera again. So I want you to do a post practice scan, body scan. So at the start, we talked about modern posture being like this. Do you feel like maybe you accessed some of your upper back muscles that might, that's where I need to get stronger to sit taller and with more ease? Now bring your, I hope you feel as relaxed as my shoulders do. All of a sudden I brought them. I've been sitting at the computer a lot of today. I'm so much more relaxed in my shoulder girdle. Wow. And now lastly, just see if you found some mobility. Maybe you've worked out some muscle tension in those shoulder joints. All right. If you have questions on any of this, let me know. In the meantime, we say goodbye to Owen, to River, and I just thank you for joining in. I hope this makes you feel better. If it does, subscribe or share it with a friend who also sits at the computer or texts an awful lot. So from my heart to yours, namaste, everyone.